I'm sure by now you all have watched what transpired between Toyin Abraham and Funke Akindele during Iyabo movie premiere that happened yesterday. So it was such a discussion online. Everybody had something to say. But then let's take it back to where it all began. I am hoping that at the end of this video you get to have an idea on how this started, presumably how this started, and why they are where they are right now, even though there are some things that we may not have had the full details on, or what must have transpired between them, but we'll be able to communicate that with you based on what we know transpired between the last movies that they released and then the last election rather too. So you see that she snubbed Toyin Abraham. Now everybody is talking about it. First is that in 2025 there was a rumor that they both had a fight, a fallout, and everybody was talking about that then. But then they came out and debunked it, saying that they were in talking terms, and they even went further to comment on each other's posts. And you would see that Toyin Abraham commented on Funke Akindele's post, and she even commented, replying her, calling her there, and all of that, which presumably means that they are in good terms, right? But then yesterday something significant happened. Toyin Abraham unfollowed Funke Akindele, and in her words, Agbaya Ushi, I don't blame you. If not for Auntie Iyabo, you think I send you, bring it all nonsense. And then she followed by saying, I have unfollowed her. God forbid bad thing. If I ever greet her again, that means I'm a bastard. Anyway, so you remember that this is like an update on what happened sometimes back between Funke Akindele and Toyin Abraham. Here it says that Toyin Abraham is a close friend of Funke Akindele, reportedly refused to support her candidacy as the PDP deputy governorship candidate in Lagos, claiming she didn't want to get involved in politics. However, during the same election, Peter campaigned for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with rumors suggesting she was financially influenced to do so. Funke's stance appears to reflect the sentiment, I hate pretense. Pretenders rather, don't pretend to be my friend if you won't support me when I need it most, and all of that. So I do not want to read all the posts. But then also we will also go back to what happened between Funke Akindele during the movie production when she released her movie and Oversabi Aunty, to that Toyin Abraham released her own Oversabi Aunty movie, and Funke Akindele released her own movie behind the scene, right? So there's a way they do the ranking in the industry, and it happens that Funke Akindele has always been leading in that. I don't know if you remember the video where Toyin Abraham was ranting that her tickets were not being sold in cinemas, that when people go there to buy the tickets to watch Oversabi Aunty, people are told that the ticket for Oversabi Aunty is either sold out or not available at the moment, or is not what's about to be watched. And then behind the scene, one of Funke Akindele's movie will be suggested to them to buy the tickets and watch. And Toyin Abraham was saying that she was accusing some people of sabotaging her efforts and her sales, rather, basically. Even though no names were called, eventually some other people mentioned some names, but then even though no names were called at that moment, all fingers were pointing at Funke Akindele, specifically because she released her own movie at that time, and instead of Oversabi Aunty that should have been recommended to people in the studio, in the cinemas rather, they were recommended behind the scene by Funke Akindele, and that was how eventually behind the scene got to hit 1 billion gross nets in the whatever they rank the thing or explain it. Yes, so based on that statement now, it's presumably said that Funke Akindele has been sad and angry about what Toyin said, pointing fingers at her, saying that she's bribing people out in the cinema to patronize her movie instead of watching her Oversabi movie, and it has been a topic of discourse. So after that one, another one came up when someone was trying to compare Funke Akindele's movie with that of Toyin Abraham, and Funke Akindele Toyin Abraham now responded, rather, saying that Funke is her oga in the industry, and her, or the person rather, comparing their both movies is such an honor for her. So it's just been a lot of conversation around this, and aside from the election stuff, and then the movie where Toyin Abraham accused other people of some people rather in the industry of sabotaging her efforts, there's also the one that came up. I would attach a clip of the Toyin Abraham incident and when she was ranting, so that you have an idea on what exactly she was complaining about in the cinemas.
If you are not the tickets, they will just say, it's a mistake. They will now take you to Oversabi Aunty Hall to watch the film. Me power. So please, when they give you, tell them that no, that is Oversabi Aunty that you want. They will now go and meet them. They should punch Oversabi Aunty in your presence. I have a lot of evidences, but most people are scared of bully. Ode tomorrow awa ilara. Please, I beg you. Because it's crazy. Cinemas, some cinemas, to all the good cinemas, shout out to you people. Some cinemas, it's crazy. You will give people show 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. How do the person sell? How? We can't. Some people will go to the cinema. You will tell them that Ovasabi Aunty is sold out so that they can watch another movie. And meanwhile, Ovasabi Aunty is not sold out. Do you understand? A lot of things that are going on. Guys, look at Showtime. You will give one person one show. How do the person make money? I produced a good film, I directed, I did a lot of content, a lot of publicity, so that people can come to the cinema. Imagine giving someone one show. You will give some people, even if you give them 2 or 3 shows, you will give someone 10 a.m. Laro. Taloti Gini 10 a.m. during festive period. Then the next show, Omaje 9 p.m. Talofe will film the 11 or 12. Please. The reason why I'm speaking out now, right now, a lot of films are in the cinema. And you can even see Mr. Nee. Mr. Nee is complaining. He is not lying. He is not.
Now this is under perspective. Someone says, I don't think this is PR. Toyin Abraham knows that was the reaction she would get from Funke Akindele, cause I don't expect Funke to be cool with Toyin after Kule Afolayan and Motola criticized her hard work of promoting her movies by dancing. That was when Toyin knew she would link up with Kunle, and they laughed about it. I feel this is a case of you can't make make fun of my hard work and now act like we are cool in public. People know what they are doing. They put you in a tight situation where you can't hold back, and then now act as if they are humble. Cause even Auntie Iyabo knew Auntie Funke would snub her. That was why she didn't bother interfering and all of that. So this is another perspective to what happened. But then we can also talk about how fans have been pitching them against each other, trying to make it look as if it's a competition. And you'd see that even though this is not something someone is thinking, repetition of whatever it is may have caused some either of them rather to be thinking that maybe that's actually the case. Maybe this person is competing with me or not. And then Toyin has also made a post one time trying to understand, trying to say that rather that it is hard, especially when Funke was one of the top 1% in the Yoruba movie industry and she was next and all, and then people came and said that so bold of her to even think that she can compete with Funke Akindele and all. Anyway, I had attached the clip earlier and I hope you read it, but then I really want to know your thoughts, what you think initially, or what you think really is the genesis of this problem, or if all the scenarios I have listed out are the possible instances, because these are possible instances that would say that we can say that it's still hindering their relationship from flourishing and all. And then if you think the possibility of them coming back together, it's possible that they will most likely be friends subsequently, or if you think that it is not doable anymore because of how much beef exists around them in the industry. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to know what you think would most likely happen between them that is causing this rift, and then if there's possible means of resolution. I personally think that we are humans and we can I've learned that we should never say never, and then subsequently I know that one way or the other they will get to a meeting point where they will resolve to be cool again. For their relationship to be as it was before, that I'm not sure, but for them to be in a better space than they are right now, then I think it's possible. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe and leave a comment so that I will know your thoughts. Thank you and see you in my next video.